Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Take a seat!
Hi, this is Sarah coming to you with announcements. Today I am announcing that we are continuing to post devotionals every day on Instagram and on the YouTubes and the Book of Faces. So please check those out. On Instagram we'll have a question every day, some kind of poll, a prayer prompt along with the video. And then now I am very proud and pleased to announce a musical treat that Dean will be performing a little song that he wrote. Oh wait, I'm sorry, wrong cue card. Okay, that was wrong. It's actually just a devotional in Psalms, but it's gonna be really good. Sorry to spoil tempt you, but maybe one day he'll sing. It's not today. Okay. And that's it for announcements. Oh, also, please subscribe to the Jeff Squad on YouTube. So, subscribe. Signing off.
Welcome back to our newest Quarantined Wednesday Night Alive. This is going to be really awkward for me, just only talking to the phone and the three people sitting in the crowd right now, being Travis, Sarah, and Jarrett. But hey, we'll be just fine. We'll get used to it, hopefully not too used to it, because my hope is that we'll all be back together as soon as possible on coming Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings. But since we can't do that right now, we'll continue our series in Psalms with Psalm 123. So go ahead, pause the video, take some time to read Psalm 123, and then unpause it when you're done. All right, so today we'll be talking about what it takes to be a servant. But before we do that, we should probably define what service or being a servant is. And so if we just look up the basic definition of it, it says something to the effect of helping or doing something for other people. But as we see in this passage, that's not it. A servant also has to take a certain position in relation to the person that they're serving. So the passage says that a servant looks up to their master, and a maidservant looks up to their mistress. So when we serve others, we need to do the same. We have to take a similar position to the people that we serve. But what does that mean by lowering ourselves? Does that mean that you have to squat down whenever you're trying to help somebody? Does that mean that Travis can't serve people because he's 6'8"? No, obviously not. That's not true. What that means is when we serve others, we shouldn't be doing it to elevate or exalt ourselves above the people that we're serving. We shouldn't serve just so that we look good or that we look like we're nice people just for doing it. That's not the purpose of serving. If serving is all about us, then that defeats the whole purpose of serving. And so that's just one aspect of service that we see in Psalm 123. Next, another key component, we'll also look at another key component in the Psalm. And so we've already said that you have to take a position lower than the person that you're serving, but also servanthood requires something that everything that we do requires. And so we can see this in both 1 Corinthians 10:31 and the first shorter catechism question. The shorter catechism question asks, what is the chief end of man? So if you know it, pause the video and answer that question. All right, so if you got it right, the answer is man's chief end is to glorify God and enjoy him forever. 1 Corinthians 10:31 says similar thing. It says, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. So our primary purpose in life is to glorify God in everything that we do. So if eating and drinking are included, don't you think that serving others would also be included? So obviously service isn't about us We've already discussed that because that's the basic definition of service. It's not about us, it's about the people that we're serving. But there's an even broader focus when we talk about serving others. And that focus is that it must glorify God, which the psalmist discusses at the end of verse 2. It says, just as servants look up to masters, we also look up to God. So while helping others is a very important and key aspect to serving, we also need to make sure that we're prioritizing glorifying God in that. And so when we do serve, we need to make sure that we take that similar position and look up to God. So this is a very easy question for you guys to answer. You may not even have to pause the video, but who is the best example of a servant or the best example of servanthood in the Bible? Crowd.
Jesus.
Jesus. Thank you. If you guys got that right, congratulations. Easy answer. So he's not only the best example of a servant, he's the perfect example of a servant. Jesus meets all of the requirements of serving that we just talked about. Jesus humbled himself to living as the son of a carpenter, but also to die one of the most painful deaths imaginable, but to later be resurrected from the dead. And he did all of this so that way we can live eternally with him in heaven. If that doesn't sound like lowering himself, like we talked about earlier, so that he can help others, then I don't know what else would. So then we get to what we said is the main focus of serving, in that it glorifies God. And so we got to ask ourselves, how does Jesus fit that requirement? Well, when we're saved due to this amazing act of grace and servanthood that Jesus did, God is glorified because more people come to know him, more people come to believe him, and more people come to worship him. So not only did he serve us when he did that, but it also led to the glorification of God. So how does all of this apply to us today? Well, today we talked about 3 things that is necessary for serving others, which is very important. The first was that it has to help, or it's you doing something for another person. This was just our basic definition of service. And so I'm sure a lot of you, I'm guilty of this as well, have been just sitting at home doing nothing, probably watching TV, YouTube, looking at Instagram, playing video games, whatever it may be. You might not be doing much. And so what you can do, instead of just doing nothing, take some time out of your day to help the people around you. Since you can't go to school right now or church, take some time to help your family members in any way that you can. Maybe your neighbors. Do the dishes for your family, take out the trash, walk the dog, mow the lawn, whatever it is. Take some time out of your day to serve the people around you. We also talked about the position that a servant has to take. A servant has to lower themselves so that the person that they are serving is above them in a way. And so whenever we serve someone, we need to remember that we're not doing it for ourselves. We're not doing it so that we look good. When we serve, how we look shouldn't matter. It should be about the person that we're serving. And then finally, we talked about when we serve others that our main priority is that it needs to be glorifying God. Our acts of service towards others should point to Christ and not ourselves. We can use our serving to be the light of Christ, especially in this weird time of quarantine. So once again, I just wanted to say we miss all of you. We hope that you guys are doing all right. We hope you're staying safe. Don't forget to follow along with all our prayer prompts, our questions, and our polls, and the Devos every morning. Hope y'all stay safe. See ya. Good.